Welcome back to the channel, and for those who are new here, I'm Phil, the Ordinary Watch Guy. I'm very ordinary, but the watches are always special. Today I want to talk about my latest acquisition. I think it's a bargain, and I want to flag that these bargains are out there. I personally get a lot of enjoyment out of watches from bargain hunting and from snooping around and finding which particular models are potentially overvalued and which ones are undervalued, and trying to nip in and get something of a deal for myself. Recently, I've been talking a lot about Zenith, a fantastic watch company with a storied history. They seem to be supported with little or no marketing in the industry at the moment, but they're a company with such history and legacy. They're right up there with the very best of them. Check out my link above for the Zenith video if you're interested in finding out more about their company story. About 8 months ago, Britt Pierce, big shout out to Britt Pierce because I'm a huge fan of her channel, made a fantastic video about Zenith entitled Why Does Nobody Buy Zenith Watches? And it's a great video that raises genuine and intelligent questions about the brand in a fun and not pretentious way. I think Zenith is one of the best secondary buying opportunities out there in the market right now because their prices are so squishy, and I would never recommend buying a Zenith at MSRP brand new. The depreciation on an MSRP Zenith is so heavy that if you bought a Chronomaster Sport at the MSRP of £10,200, the money you have immediately lost walking it across the door would pay for you to go to Japan and buy a 2022 mint condition with box and papers example of the same watch and come home with it. You can find that watch all day, every day for £4,750 plus VAT, immaculate, with box and papers in Japan. The true cost of buying that watch, in my eyes, is in the £5,500 that you'll never ever see again. There's a 2024 model that I'm looking at right now with box and papers for £5,163. That's £5,000 less than MSRP. By the way, I'll just add as an aside that I saw a Zenith Chronomaster Sport on sailcloth, and that watch is so gorgeous in that combination. Just absolutely incredible. So anyway, I was looking at shaking up my collection a little bit and letting a few pieces go, bringing some pieces in, and that tends to be how I do things. That's when I found this. It's the Zenith Captain Chronograph 42mm. I think it's the kind of bargain that you need to be aware of and that we should be talking about. I just paid £2,400 including VAT, and I'm going to tell you why that is such a great deal. Okay, first of all, what is the Zenith Captain Chronograph? Well, you're looking at a 42mm dial. I appreciate that might not suit every wrist, with a traditional horizontal chronograph presentation with 3 subdials. There's also a date complication on the watch, and they've avoided placing the date wheel at that between 4 and 5 location that sometimes upsets a few people, and Zenith do that, but they've moved the date to a symmetrical position at the 6, which is very easy on the eye. Now, there's no tacky scale, and I think that's the thing that really keeps the appearance clean, and for me really marks the difference between a dress watch and a tool watch or sport watch vibe. The watch is available in different colour presentations, as you can imagine. Mine has a silver dial with really lovely contrasting copper sort of coloured markers, indices and hands, which is really, really nice. The star on the Zenith logo is applied, It's three-dimensional and of the same colour. The dial itself is a subtle brushed radial finish that works really well in the light. The sub-dials are a touch lighter in colour for a little bit of depth and contrast, and the overall effect is elegant and refined. I think there's a dress watch vibe happening in 2025, and I'm really here for it. This watch definitely suits that trend. A stainless steel case is polished to the sides with brushed lugs. Flip the case over though, and you really get the treat that you've come here for. It's the El Primero 400 caliber displayed through a porthole of an exhibition case back, and it is pretty glorious really. It's a movement worth looking at. It's the most attractive in my personal collection, and you'll have to go some way to find an automatic movement that looks this good. The case itself, including the sapphire crystal, is 11.9 millimeters in depth, which is a pretty slim offer for a chronograph really. The crown is easy to use, very positive in feel, and it has the Zenith star embossed and proudly on display. The watch I bought came on the original leather strap, crocodile leather, with a Zenith pin buckle fasten that is polished. I plan to change the strap, which is my personal habit when I buy pre-owned watches, but I'll swap the pin buckle over and I'll keep the original strap in the box with the papers. This was a pretty much complete set really. Technical specifications include a high beat movement running at 36,000 beats per hour, which is super smooth. It's a column wheel chronograph and it has 50 hours of power reserve. The iconic El Primero movement is a great thing to have in any collection. Downsides to the watch: it has very limited water resistance. Think Omega Speedmaster, 50 meters is your max. You wouldn't want to take it out in the heavy rain. Also, like a lot of Grand Seiko models, no luminescence on the dial, making it more difficult to read in low light conditions, although the contrasting copper coloured indices and markers and hands, that certainly helps a little bit. This probably isn't the watch for you if you're the type of collector that likes the new hype watch and the latest greatest thing, like the Christopher Ward C12 Loco, which looks amazing, or the latest Studio Underdog, which I'm still struggling to appreciate, sorry guys. It definitely isn't the Black Bay chronograph in pink or turquoise, but it also isn't an African bull elephant or a Breville sandwich toaster. It has just about as much in common with those things. You need to remind yourself as well, £2,000 before VAT is not enough to buy yourself a Longines Spirit chronograph at MSRP, and it will get you nowhere near anything with a movement that is comparable to the great El Primero. So the market position on this watch is really interesting. According to the data on Chrono24, the price has been falling since May 2022 with occasional mild recoveries, but since December last year it has slid from being a £3,500 watch on the secondary market to resting somewhere around that £2,000 plus VAT mark. I'm willing to suggest that this watch has bottomed out. I don't buy watches as investments, but it's nice if they can hold a little value in case I want to sell them so that I can bring something else in. I feel confident that in the worst case scenario I might lose a couple of £100 on this watch, but it will probably break even at worst, and in the best case scenario I might even make a couple of quid on it when I come to let it go. Responding directly to the Britt Pierce video from about 8 months ago, sorry for the late reply, she was absolutely on the dial See what I did there? But she was absolutely spot on about the trepidation that accompanies buying an El Primero at list versus something like an Omega Speedmaster, for example. But I feel that right now, the lack of marketing that is surrounding Zenith as a brand has got secondary prices suppressed way lower than they should be. And one day, the brand is going to wake up and it's going to do something about that. It leaves watch geeks with a real opportunity. While the muggles are off buying the hype watches, buying Hublot, and dare I say it, Rolex, we have some discreet knowledge about where the good stuff really is. And if you can land it for £2,000 plus VAT, well, it's just another reason to have a big smile on your face every time you look at your watch. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love to read them and to respond to them, as you know. If you're looking at watch bargains and you don't mind sharing them, please get in touch and let me know what you found. What's the best bargain you've ever landed on one of your favourite watches? Thanks for watching this video. Please hit subscribe and like and do all that YouTubey stuff. Things that help to boost my channel. I'd be really grateful. If you're interested in Zenith, why not hit my previous video to find out more about the brand and the origin and the history of where Zenith come from. I'll be back soon with some new material. In fact, I'll be back really soon with some new content from Glashütte in Germany, and I cannot wait. Stay in touch with me to enjoy that. Bye for now.